What's up, everybody? We are live. Hopefully, let me know if you can hear, see. Well, actually, all three of us. This is something a little bit different today. What's up, everybody? Well, I know we can hear me because I just heard you guys. Please welcome Tony and Francesca Chini, everybody.
What's going on? Unemployed, Tony Chini.
Unemployed, yes. We sadly saw you get fired. How's everything going for you?
You know what? I'm actually waiting for unemployment to kick in and just kicking back and letting my body heal and watching everybody else break themselves and do their thing, you know?
Yeah, and as all of us know, unemployment sucks, and it takes so long to get.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, on the other half, how have you been doing, Fran?
Beat up and just hurt and tired.
Because you got you got a big match coming, don't you?
I do. GTS title.
GTS title against the one and only Philly Mike Swanson. Who, I think he's going to be...
You know, the Philly actually stands for Philip. It's not for Philadelphia. It's for Philip.
Philip Michael Swanson.
There you go. I would have never known that. We got John saying, Fran, good luck beating Swanson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I always thought it was Philadelphia. That's interesting. He's going to be on the show, I think, next week. Not next week, probably the following week. When is that? When's Extreme Tools? Or is it already kind of started?
I think it's like about to start up.
Yeah.
Or something.
Right.
Or maybe it actually did start. Actually, yeah, it started. I think that today's episode was a couple of Extreme Tools matches, and I think yesterday had some Extreme Tools.
Yeah, I think so. I think Grim wrestled in a wheelchair today.
Yeah. Yeah. See what that's all about.
Someone asked, what is your pizza place called?
I mean, wouldn't it be Tony's Pizzeria?
Tony and Fran's, maybe?
Well, I mean, she's not really into the pizzeria right now. She's into the wrestling. She's still in GTS. She's not unemployed.
True.
It's pizzeria. That's all I have right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. So, do you regret saying any of that stuff before you started your match with Blackstroke?
You know what? I don't regret anything I said, and I feel like even though I lost, my performance in that match backed up everything I did say, and I don't really care. You know what? I'm going to take the time off because I'm confident that she's going to win the GTS championship, and when she wins it, I get my job back. So Blackstream has it coming once I get back.
Yeah, no doubt. And that was a hell of a match too. So I'm definitely, along with everybody else, thinking it's gonna be a crazy rematch too. I love how Grim was like midway, well not even midway, like right as soon as it started. Oh yeah, loser gets fired.
Yeah, I know. It was literally for real out of nowhere. I mean, just honestly for real out of nowhere. I didn't expect it. We didn't talk about that. It was crazy. I was just like, okay, well, let's do this, and then I guess it's time to take some time off.
John wants to know, Tony or Fran, your thoughts on the idea of Tony versus KVA in a rap battle from the other night.
My thoughts on KBA's rap battle with who?
Tony Emerald, the idea of that me and P came up.
Tony Emerald versus KBA. I think that would be a great idea. I think that Tony Emerald would old school out rap KBA. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard the type of music that Tony Emerald comes out to at live shows, but you don't expect Tony Emerald to be coming out once you hear it playing.
Just got real. Alright, much love for the dog. What's the dog's name?
Cece.
Stacy?
Cece.
Cece.
Like C-I-C-I, like the pizza place.
I was gonna... That's kind of ironic. So where'd you guys meet? Getting to the hard questions.
You tell him, man. My throat is like killing me right now. I don't know what's up.
He actually
Choked
trained
up.
me at Taco Bell when I worked there.
He trained you at Taco Bell?
Yep.
Yeah, we were both working at Taco Bell. I was working there before. Excuse me. And what's it called? She came in, and we were both in relationships, but we were friends. You know, we just I trained her while she was there, and we stayed friends after that. And we had mutual friends, so we would still see each other throughout the years, and we always remained good friends, and always thought we were cool. You know. Then I was single, and then she became single, and then next thing you know, we just we went on a couple dates, and I made her sushi, and then I asked her to be my girlfriend. Then obviously the engagement story, but
Yeah. And you
that's
guys been together for how long?
what's it coming up on?
3.5?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's about 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Awesome. That's really awesome. And all because of Taco Bell, too.
Liv Moss.
Taco Bell is so good. We're getting love for Taco Bell in the chat. So yeah, if anybody knows the other half of Cursor Maniacs, not really much on camera anymore, but we're actually, what is it, the 2nd already, July? In about 21 days, we'll be hitting 10 years together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We've been together or engaged for like 5, but we're just waiting for money and time. And right now, you can't do anything like that because of everything going on.
Definitely. We understand. We were set to get married, and we were going to get married at a live show, and it was going
That
to be
would
really
be cool.
It was going to be a nice, fun thing and everything, but obviously that got pushed back. And we're doing live shows again right now, but we don't want to rush into it, so we're still waiting it out and seeing what happens. We'll get there, though.
I'm surprised you didn't want to do it at GTS.
Well, we figured we did the engagement on GTS,
Yeah.
and we did it in front of the crowd online, and now it would be cool to have people with us there and to celebrate some of the fans and some of our friends and family, of course, and
You could have totally just had a wedding cake on one of the tables, climb up the scaffolding. She could have choked somebody through
I'm
it.
sure somebody would have went through a table, and there definitely would have been a food fight. It would have been.
Oh, man.
It's gonna get crazy. It's still gonna happen. It's not what it been. It's just still waiting.
What is the next title, Chini, that you want to hold in GTS? When you get back, of course.
Well, I mean, there's only one title that I haven't had, and that's the YouTube Championship. So, I mean, I honestly think Jake, he just had it for a minute there, and it slipped from his hands, and they screwed him. And right now, Gay Mysterio has it, and the man behind the mask deserves that.
Definitely.
And absolutely, it's overdue. But when she wins that GTS title, or however I manage to get myself back, I'm definitely gonna get that YouTube Championship.
Yeah, so if anybody that doesn't know or doesn't follow GTS so we have people from the Wrestling Days community, we have people from Roller Coaster people show up every now and then. Tony Chini is a wrestler on GTS, so is Francesca. Tony Chini got fired because he lost a match, and the only way he can get back is if Fran can win the GTS title.
Now, in all fairness, he pulled the tights, he pulled my hair. It wasn't fair. It was a little. It was a little something. I don't know. Just watch it back. You might see it. You might not. I don't know. But I felt it.
It wasn't fair.
Quick counts.
Exactly. Yeah. I felt it was a little quick, and I didn't have time to register where I was before that 3 count. And you could see in the video, I kind of kick it like at the last, like after the, it might have been before the 3. I don't know. I don't know.
Watch back.
I'm still, I'm still talking to my lawyers, so I can't really discuss it too much. But
The lawyer. Yeah. I'll definitely have to. I just watched it actually this morning, so I'll have to watch it again. It's like everybody knows in the chat. I'm catching up slowly. I've started to actually kind of catch back up a little bit, but I mean, last time I was watching you guys, like Fran, you didn't have the orange/red hair. You were like, you're old, and you were in an Overwatch outfit.
Oh, the bunny suit.
The bunny, yeah. Will we see that return at all?
I hope not. I hope not. It gets hot in that thing.
you never know. Maybe on like a throwback episode or something like
Maybe.
that. But I don't think she wants to digress. Back to something that was when we want to look forward.
Sonny Wolf says, I like the room wall. So, funny enough, that used to be Grimm's old toy room.
Yes, it used to be Grimm's old toy room, and now it's my toy room. You can't even see everything that I have in here right now. I have a whole bunch of stuff all over the place. It's going pretty. It's going pretty well. I'm pretty picky about the things that I get now. I used to just grab everything, but now because I have too much things, I'm very picky about the things that I get and whatever. But I have a whole bunch of stuff, and it's kind of cool because it's like I watched the videos too, and I saw his toy room, and I always wanted to have my own toy room, and I never would have thought that my own toy room would be the Grimm's toy room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You never expected on Earth to be living there. No, did he leave anything behind for you guys in there, or like any action figures, or because he had tons?
Yeah, there's a belt. There's it's not like a real replica belt, but it's like a plastic replica belt that he left here. And I was joking with him. I was like, "Does the belt come with the house?" He says, "Yeah, sure." And says, "All right, I'll take it, whatever." So I have that, and I mean, there's I don't think there's any that are on hand, but there's a couple action figures that he left behind. These are mostly all mine here, though. So. But for the most part, that was it. Just that belt, and obviously the house and the key.
Did do you let him come back actually in there after? So if you recall watching a video back, you and him got into it actually a little bit about opening action figures. Do you remember that?
When I opened his action figure at his house?
Yep. And then he came in and did it to you.
All right, well, this is the thing. He opens all of his action figures, does he not?
Yeah.
So I would have thought, in my head, I would have thought, he's opening this already. Oh, I want to take a look at this. So I went and I opened it, take a look, and then next thing you know, he's yelling at me, and then he has to go and do it to me. And, if you look around, these are some that I don't have in the box up here, but for the most part, all of them in the box. I don't touch them, but I know for sure that all of his are out of the box except for just a select few. And I guess that was supposed to be one of his select few, but it's all right. We got past that. That was a while ago.
So this question is going to be, I think, in every single one. I didn't ask it to Pete, actually. I'll ask me and Pete are going to be doing another one, I think, later on. Community member lives in Canada. She loves Tim Hortons. Have you guys ever heard of it? Been to it?
Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never been there, but I've heard that I'm not a coffee drinker, but I heard of their coffee is good or something.
Coffee's donuts. It's kind of like I guess a higher
like Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, oh my God, Krispy Kreme. I love Krispy Kreme.
I love Krispy Kreme.
We don't have any up here near us, really.
Krispy Kreme's great. We don't have a lot around here, but when we travel to shows in Maryland or Ohio or St. Louis, we go to a Krispy Kreme for sure.
I love it. So you go all the way out to Ohio?
I've been all the way out to Ohio and the St. Louis and Illinois area and what's it called? I've been to Maryland, like I said. I've been to Delaware. Pennsylvania, and I try to go anywhere I can really. And I'm actually supposed to be going to Georgia in October.
Tony, did you get the Fiend figure?
The Fiend figure? No,
Wow.
no. Did you? Is that the one where it's like the box looks like the mask and stuff, right?
I don't really collect figures that much, so I gotta have to check out. It was just a question in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get a lot. Like I said, I'm picky, so I don't get a lot of the newer ones. And like, I really, really like old school figures. Like, just I don't know, just the way they are. Like my oldest one is it's like the AWA. What's it called? What the hell is the brand? Remco. It's a 3-pack, and it's the Road Warriors with Paul Elric.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's really cool. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorites in my collection. Probably not my favorite, but one of my favorites, and that's my oldest one for sure. It's like it's still in the box, and it's from like 1988 or 89 or something like that. So I like that kind of stuff.
Someone wants to know about Fran's favorite NFL team. If you have one.
I don't watch football. I don't do that.
If you had to pick a team, though, to answer the person's question,
I don't know. That just gives me bad flashbacks of high school marching band.
What's wrong with high school marching band?
I did it for 4 years.
Well, so did I.
It was a rough time. When you're not into football, it's a rough time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because you have to go to all the games and everything. Yeah. No, that's actually where me and my fiance met. Actually, was in the high school band.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
cool. Did your high school team at least win though?
No.
So we started getting so bad that we started cheering for the other team that they were playing against. So,
Sitting there.
like if they scored, we just started playing a song or something. So what about you then, Tony? What about you? Do you follow football? Favorite team?
I don't follow too much football anymore, but when I did, I watched the Jets. That was kind of my team, just because my dad was a Jets fan when I was growing up. So it just kind of, it's like one of those things where it's like your dad kind of just told you, this is your team. You know, you're just like, yeah!
Same with the Bills for me. I mean, that's just pretty much how it was. And I've been a Bills fan ever since. I mean, kind of goes.
I've always been about the wrestling, though. You know, it's like that's always been my biggest thing.
Have you ever heard of New England Wrestling? NEW?
NEW. I've heard of a different NEW. I've wrestled for NEW in North Carolina, but not New England Wrestling.
No, so this is where I mean they came about 5 minutes to my house, and it was in a little baseball field, and like they had their local indie stars, but they also had like right when Jeff and Matt left WWE, or right before they came back, they had Jeff and Matt come there. They had the Anvil was there when he was still alive. Jerry Lawler fought a match.
That's cool.
Cody Rhodes was there right after he left, so he was just freshly out of WWE. And I guess like a year later, Rey Mysterio came. So they have like big stars that I don't think they came actually last year. But what about TIW? Somebody said that they thought you'd done something in TIW. It's in a mall, but I don't think it's the same mall. That you had a match in a mall recently or something?
I had a match in a mall, but it wasn't for TIW. It was a match. Well, I wrestle for Triple WA, and they do stuff at the what is it? The Pottstown?
No, Coventry Mall.
Coventry Mall, the Coventry Mall in Pennsylvania, and then I also just did something at this big mall in New York. Geez, I forget what it's called, but the Palisades.
I was gonna say, it has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be it, because that was a really big show. It was like a 4-story mall, and there were people watching on all stories.
I've been to that mall, multiple. Yeah.
It's huge.
I go to the indoor go-kart track there.
Yeah, it's insane. That was my first time ever going there. Was when I was booked on there. I was just, and actually I wasn't even booked. Is the funny part. Let me tell you the story real quick. I just showed up. I just kind of had my gear in the car, and I knew some people that were going to be there. So I was like, let me go and see what's up. So I went, and I'm looking around this mall. I'm just like, wow, this is incredible. And all the things. They had go-karts, movie theaters, Dave and Buster's. It was insane. So I go and I find them setting up the ring, and I help them set up the ring and everything. I have my gear. If you need a guy, let me know. And he's just like, oh yeah, we'll let you know whenever. And they never really let me know. So all of a sudden I see, and I wanted to get myself in the locker room so I could try to get on the show. So I see that the catering people need some help. So I go over to the catering people. I'm like, here, let me help you bring that in. Like, sure. So I get in. I go to the locker room. I go and talk to the guy again. He's like, yeah, we'll talk about maybe like a future opportunity for you. And I was like, awesome. Now I got to talk to him again. We talked about a future opportunity. I don't get to wrestle tonight, but whatever. So all of a sudden, I see my boys, Carpet Muncher, and and his brother Brian, and they were there, and they just kind of showed up, and they were like, oh yeah, you could be in the Battle Royal, and they just kind of showed up too. And I was like, well, they didn't tell me to be in this Battle Royal. So I went out, I got my gear, I got tested by the doctor, and I just kind of put on my gear, just kind of hoping that they would just let me slide through this Battle Royal. All of a sudden, the person who was it's not the promoter, but the person who was in charge of kind of the matches, he walks over to me, he sees me putting on my gear, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, he's probably about to tell me no, whatever. And instead, he told me the exact opposite. He told me I was good to go. I was like, okay, right on. So I ended up going in, and I ended up staying in until the final two people.
Oh wow!
So it was actually pretty cool.
Could you imagine if you won it?
That would have been really funny, honestly. It would have been really funny. I don't know what I would have done, honestly. I just would have been laughing, probably.
This is going from not even booked on the show, and then you're winning this battle royal. Like what?
I wasn't even booked.
What did the winner get? Was it like money or a title opportunity?
I think the winner got to face the champion later on in the night.
Oh, that would have been even better if you won that, then won the title.
Oh, jeez. I mean, nah, that would have been. I don't know what I would have done, honestly.
Then you could have been like, all right, victory lap on the Ferris wheel. Let's go. Yeah, they have a Ferris wheel in that mall too. I don't know if you were down there that way, but they have a Ferris wheel in that mall.
Yeah, they got. I went to every inch of it as far as I'm concerned. I showed up way early for this show, like an hour early, before they started setting up, so I could watch and look around at everything. And it was cool. It was really cool. I definitely want to go back and just hang out sometime because I didn't really get to do much hanging out, obviously. But
did you do that ropes course there? Or I actually saw.
I didn't do it, but I saw it. But the one thing I did do is I ate at the food court, and they had quite the selection. Very good stuff. I ended up. I think I got a chicken cheesesteak from Charlie's.
Yeah. Now, if it was in our mall, we don't even have a mall anymore. Back before they actually closed down the mall, they ended up closing it before all this stuff happened twice because they didn't pay their electric bill.
Okay.
But I mean, you would have stores leave one after another. When I worked at Spirit Halloween a couple of years back, and it was in a Best Buy. Best Buy ended up leaving. What? And I counted 30 stores. 30, I think 32 actually stores gone in that mall.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
it was also because they were ridiculously charging for rent. The only thing that was open was the movie theater and a Target because they were on their own things. Now the movie theater's closed because of the whole COVID thing, but now all I got is Target up there. And that's where TIW was in their mall, and so now they got, I don't know what they've been doing, but all of a sudden you was just like hearing slams like echoing down the halls. It got to the point where this mall was actually a place where people would go and just walk around to do exercises, like a track.
I could definitely see that. Because it's huge, and I felt worked out by the time I was doing the ring. I was like, geez, I just walked around. I ate Charlie's. After you eat Charlie's, everything feels like a workout.
That mall's awesome, but you didn't get Fran booked though. That's the sad part.
Well, she wasn't with me for this
Oh, yeah, I
specific
wasn't
trip,
there.
so I was there with a friend.
So after the GTS title, what about you, Fran? What would you want to go for?
While you answer this, I'll be right back.
I think the only other title besides the YouTube title that I haven't had is the Intercontinental.
I see.
Have the US title?
Yes, I have. I won it off of Hog a while ago.
Oh my God, Hog.
Yeah.
I remember Hog. I'm not sure if he's not around anymore, right?
Comes around once in a while. He hasn't been around in a little while though.
And so I do remember you did win. You did win the GTS title once, but it was for a short time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Did somebody roll you up right after, or did they rematch?
Yeah. Somebody rolled me up.
Yeah.
GTS title.
I wonder who that was.
Last time. I had it.
I think that's yeah, not even looking. That's what he was looking to do again now, isn't it? Roll it up, get it again. You said you wanted to get the title again.
I'm gonna get it again.
Before he has to finger poke a doom.
You gotta give it to me now. After you win it. Give me the first shot.
I don't know.
You gotta give me the first shot.
I don't know.
When I come back, after you win it, I come
I
back.
don't know.
I make my triumphant return. Everybody cheers. Tony.
Well, wait a minute. What if I want that title? Everybody's forgetting about Coaster Maniacs here. I feel left out in all this. It could happen a day. I could dream. I do remember back when you guys were in a Battle Royal. I don't remember what it was for, but you guys actually, I think you eliminated Fran, or it was the other way around. Remember that? Like,
was it on GTS or was it at a show?
it was GTS. I think. Did you do it more than once?
Well,
You have done it more than once. Just saying.
because I have eliminated her on GTS and at a show in a Battle Royal. So,
Which I never understood that. Why would you eliminate your ally?
it's every man and woman
There were some
for
issues.
themselves. Every person for themselves. It doesn't matter. If I see the opportunity, I'm tossing you up.
But so it never ends up good for you though. And then you sleep on the couch.
We got a comfy couch.
I would hope so.
Yeah, me too. You kidding me? If you know who I am, you know that I've probably slept on the couch more times than anybody.
Oh man. Someone wants to know your thoughts on Adam Cole's title reign and Fiend character losing to Goldberg.
I heard thoughts on Adam Cole's title reign, but I didn't hear after that.
And your thoughts on Fiend losing to Goldberg.
And the Fiend losing to Goldberg. So Adam Cole's title reign I think that's awesome, honestly. I think it's really cool that they keep him with it and they're trusting a guy that's almost like a smaller build, like a similar build to a GTS guy, if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like he kind of has like the similar like build to like me or Kurt Bale or something like that, like a smaller guy. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, he's had that title for over a year now, and he's been running it pretty strong. and that's good for him. But as far as Goldberg defeating the Fiend, that upsets me because it's like the Fiend is like that it's supposed to be this unstoppable character, and I know that Goldberg is too, but Goldberg is also a thing of the past, and the Fiend is supposed to be the thing now. So Goldberg should be able to say, you know what, I don't care who made this decision. Let me pass on my torch to this character because now it's almost, if you think about it, the Fiend and Goldberg are the same character. Unstoppable forces, unstoppable monsters. Nobody can stop them. Quick matches, it's the same thing. So to have that happen, it's like it's basically saying nothing will ever outdo the old, and it's just it makes no sense because also when you watch Goldberg perform in the ring now, it doesn't make any sense to have him beating the crap out of the Fiend like that. It just makes no sense. It's crazy. And then his match at WrestleMania was atrocious too because it's literally just finisher between him and Braun Strowman, and that's the whole match. It's the biggest show of the year. You can't put on 7 minutes of an actual match. Like 10 minutes something. It was insane.
Yeah, and that's I asked that to James Ellsworth, and he said that's what caused the coronavirus. And it wasn't even like he lost to an actual jackhammer too. He lost to a vertical suplex.
Yeah.
Chini, do you ever get sick of pizza?
No.
Who gets sick of pizza?
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. So the whole what do you think of the monster truck that Adam Cole rolled in on?
That who rolled in on?
Adam Cole, the monster truck.
Oh, at the Velveteen Dream match, right?
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. I was like, oh shoot, and I thought, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of when Hulk Hogan and the Big Show and then the Giant had their monster truck match. You remember that?
Yeah, on top of the headquarters, right?
Yeah. I saw that, and obviously, Adam Cole's looked a lot less cheesy, but still, it was pretty funny. I just instantly thought of that. I was like, oh no, the Big Show's coming out.
Well, see, my thoughts were, and I mentioned it before, that if you remember Bray Wyatt tweeting out that he wanted a monster truck for Mania, did you see that tweet?
No.
Yeah, neither did I guess other people. But he asked, hey, does anybody know where I can get a monster truck for WrestleMania? And I'm thinking, what if that was supposed to be Bray Wyatt's monster truck, but they obviously didn't get to do anything for Mania. Instead, they had to reskin it or didn't even put any decals on it and turned it into Adam Cole's.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be. Because that's a good theory. I mean, it's kind of random to just have Adam Cole come up in a monster truck and to have someone had already mentioned it and not used it, that could be it.
Oh, that's when I first saw him. Like, oh, dude, Bray's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
How long do you think it will take before he can get to WWE, AEW, NWA, etc.?
Who's he?
I'm assuming you.
Oh.
They didn't specify.
I mean, I don't know. Are they asking me? Or are they asking you? Are they asking her?
That's a good question. Peter Mazarek? Yeah, who are you asking? I'm going to ask you that.
I mean, if you're going to ask me, I'm going to have to go with the confident answer and say, of course. I mean, with the hard work and the dedication I put in outside of GTS, like I said, doing as much traveling as I do and putting in as much work. In the beginning of this year, before the pandemic, I did some training at one of the top schools in the country. I'm planning on doing some training maybe in Mexico next year for a little bit. Did training with ECW Legend 911. I've been to countless seminars and states, all in the U.S. You know, so I'm working my ass off, and if you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, he's asking both. But how long do you think it'll take you?
I think, I mean, you can't really put a time on that. I mean, if you want, like, I could go into this match that I have coming up next weekend, and I could just have the match of my career for some reason, and all of a sudden somebody sees that and is like, oh, well, you know what? Let's give this guy a chance, you know? But I could also go in and shit the bed and have a shitty match and be like, oh, well, you know, this guy needs another year, and I might need another couple years. But I mean, realistically, if you're gonna say realistically, and I'm not saying WWE or AEW, but maybe you know, maybe NWA, because I'd really love to be on there, or maybe even Impact, or maybe something like that. I could say within the next 5 years, I'd like to pop up on one of those places.
What about you, Fran?
I'm trying to get some personal stuff together, and then I'm gonna worry about getting more training and do what I can in the meantime.
Yeah, there you go. I think if I mean, I asked that to Thunder Rosa too, and she's actually starting her own thing going forward. I think it's going to be an all-women's promotion. And I think I gotta go back. I think her answer was that, yeah, she wants to do her own thing. Before just say, hey, you know, I created that. But WWE tends to keep people in boxes per se, and like she wanted to be in control of her own character, stuff like that. So I mean, that's another thing to think about. Where you are now, I'm sure you probably have a lot of freedom in your characters.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I feel like right now, this is something that I've said a lot in the last like couple months. I feel like even though they're gonna put me in a storyline on GTS, well, not right now, but you know what I mean. Like they would put me in a storyline on GTS, or her in a storyline on GTS, or on an indie show or something like that. In the long run, it's still up for you as an individual to create your own story and to create your own path. And if you're going to be going somewhere, you want to make sure that that fits into whatever the story and the path you're trying to create is. So if whatever WWE has planned for you isn't a part of that story, then you got to either say, well, you know what, maybe I could change up the story and take this nice paycheck, or you got to say, well, maybe I can get a nice paycheck somewhere else and do what I want to do. You know, it just depends on how you want to take it.
That's right, and that's why so when you do all these indie shows, like you have the freedom to be able to be the character that we see on GTS too, right? Or is it something completely different, or a little bit?
I'd say in the past, like you'd see like a more real side of me on GTS, where it's not as much because I'm the delivery boy on GTS, but a lot of people, it's surprisingly don't even know that, and like they see me at an indie show and I have a pizza box and I have you know my Italian singlet on and all that, and they're like, why do you have a pizza box? Like you're Tony Chini. Why do you have a pizza box? Because I'm the delivery boy. That's my thing. But people on GTS I mean, not everybody, but some of the maybe newer people, they just know me as Chini, just Tony Chini, and they don't even see the delivery boy side of me. They don't even like put that together. So I'm honestly, because of that, trying to resonate that now into my live show character. So from this point on, really, I'm not really going to be doing much of the pizza box stuff anymore and all that. But I'm going to kind of show more of my GTS side on my live show presence, and that's up to me. So yeah, I mean, creatively, that's my decision.
Yeah, no, and I mean, going back to when you debuted as obviously a heel on GTS. And I mean, how was that? Like, where did you watch Grim? Like that seems to be what everybody did. Like they watched, like with the wrestling figure on the trampoline and everything. Like, how did you actually get to meet Grim? And
It's kind of funny because like I didn't even know about his wrestling channel like really too much. I knew more about like his vlog and like his wrestling figure reviews and that kind of stuff and like his collection videos. And that was the stuff I was interested in. So there was one time I went to a show as a fan, and I had no training or anything. I didn't wrestle that night. I was just there as a fan at a show, and he ended up being at this show, and he was managing Kurt Hawkins, and I was in the crowd at that show, and he actually goes up to me in the crowd because he got kicked out from ringside, and then he was trying to sneak back in, and he was sitting next to me in the crowd, like kind of hiding. And I realized I'm like, well, he's sitting right next to me, and I said, hey, I'm a big fan, and I'm right there on the screen. And then I think I don't know, maybe like a year later, 2 years later was when I started training. And then after training, I started kind of making my own like little videos on YouTube, and just to kind of work on my character. You know, like it wasn't really anything serious. It was just kind of to develop character now that I have the wrestling training. And after I did that, Dalton actually ended up hitting me up and found my character and wrestling stuff. And he knew that I was local to him and asked if he could be on my channel. And I told him, like, honestly, I didn't really have much to offer on my channel, and I wasn't really doing much with it. But I knew that he was on GTS. So I asked him, I have some wrestling training. Is there a way you can get me on the show? And he said, well, I need a ride on Monday. So I said, okay, well, it looks like I'm your ride. And I picked him up, and we got lost. We got pulled over. We ended up getting to the place, and it was pretty cool. I just showed up, and I showed them what I knew in the ring already, and I guess it was enough for Grim to say, let's put this guy in a match with me. So it worked out, and I just kind of got that opportunity by luck.
And for Fran, you came in just as a manager, right? Was that what the
My Guma.
Yeah.
And then it turned into you having taking a couple of bumps and
Happened.
Well, you wanted to start coming, and you were interested
Yeah, I
in
wanted
doing
to start
it.
coming and doing like acting, just be a manager.
I kind of told her like in the beginning because she's an actress. She does like plays and theater and all that kind of stuff. So like I told her to help your acting resume. It looks good to be on a YouTube show, a high profile YouTube show. So you can come on as my manager, and you have that acting role now, and it's perfect. So she comes on, she does her thing, and then all of a sudden, it was like, hey, we want you to do this, so we just need you to learn this. So we teach her this,
All right.
and then we teach her that,
Okay.
and then we start teaching her more and more, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we don't have enough people today, and we need you in a match.
All right.
So
show me what I need to do, and I'm there.
Yeah, from there she just kept wanting to learn, and we just kept showing her. And obviously, living together, we have a lot of time for me to show her stuff, and she's learned stuff from other people, and we've trained at some other places. And it's she's doing good. We were gonna go to a different school, and that kind of fizzled out. So I was already going to a different school, and that kind of fizzled out as well. So we're going to have to find a different place. But we were thinking about Pro Wrestling Magic. They were just doing some videos with GTS, and they also have a school of their own. So we were thinking about maybe going with them.
Yeah, that definitely looked pretty cool. I just the recent one they did. Yeah, if you're going up against, I forgot his name, but yeah, good luck to you.
Bruno, yeah. The monster Bruno. I would love to face Bruno.
That's a big guy.
As crazy as that sounds, I would love to face him. I like a challenge, and you know me. I faced a lot of big guys, 2XL, and I've had my feuds with Big Dom and Onslaught on their own, and just doing all this crazy stuff. The guy I'm facing next weekend is like almost 400 pounds.
Wow. But I mean, so that's pretty cool that you're doing theater. Or do you still do theater stuff, or
Well,
I mean, probably not much.
ish. Here and there.
'Cause that's what I did in college.
Like the best Christmas pageant ever every year for 2 years, and then they stopped doing it.
That's the name of the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just saying it's the best Christmas pageant ever.
The show is called
Like,
The Best Christmas
show
Pageant Ever.
It's the best Christmas pageant ever. So
Maybe that's where WWE got that from. The best wrestling match ever. Yeah, no, I did 4 years of theater in college. I was more on the tech side of things though, so I wanted to be on stage, but I didn't really get to do any of that.
I started off in the tech side of the theater, so I did a lot of building sets,
Yep.
and I learned how to do the light board in college.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the spotlights and stuff. Spotlight operator.
Middle school, going into high school, I was like, let me try being an ensemble member. And I tried it, and then I got into college, and they're like, all right, you're really good at straight plays. Here you go.
Did you ever get to write anything? Like, write your own plays, or?
No, I really started as a musician first because I really wanted to be a music teacher when I was in high school. And I played 9 different instruments. So wow. I really wanted to be a music teacher.
Yeah, that's kind of like. So I learned by hearing. I can't read a lot of music, but I could pick up any instrument pretty much and learn how to play in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I used to just like turn on the radio and just whatever song was on, I try to learn it on guitar or piano.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just like, how do you not do it?"
I remember in 5th grade, I tried to be in the school band because I just wanted to be at the go with the band trip at the end of the year, you know. And so they stuck me with the French horn because I didn't have an instrument of my own. I didn't have any experience playing any instruments, so I just was like, okay, here's the French horn. So I look next to me, and I still don't know how to read the music for the French horn or play the chords or anything of that sort or anything, you know. I literally, every song, I looked at the person next to me during practice, and I watched every little thing they did, and I memorized for each song. And I got through one concert. And then I quit. And I was like,
that's pretty solid.
I am not doing that again because that was difficult.
Well, it's certainly a good thing you didn't have a solo then.
Oh my God, no, that would have been horrible. That would have been really bad. Yeah. No, I didn't make it to the trip at the end of the year.
At least you didn't have a solo and then they say your name wrong.
They done that? Wow.
Katerina Calvert. What? That's not even my name.
That sounds pretty dope, though.
So did they used to film it on put on TV and stuff? Like we had PCTV over here. There's our public TV channel. And I remember back when I was younger, and they put it right in my face doing a solo. And I completely botched that solo too. I'm like, well, there's that. So then you know what a drum corps is then, right?
A what?
A drum and bugle corps?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that for a little bit of time, but I was in the drum line. I still today can't read any drum music, but I would pick it up, kind of watching what Tony did. I just watched and turned into the movie Drumline, and now I was the drumline instructor for a while, and it was kind of funny because I cannot read a single note, but I was teaching people how to do rhythms and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. And just the image, I could totally see Chini playing French horn. That could have been your gimmick.
No, you know, it's funny. I mean, let's see what you think of this. One of the things that we thought for her gimmick was to do sort of like a band geek type of gimmick, and she comes out playing her own theme song, and you know, and she's doing her thing, and then she kind of like kicks it into gear once the bell rings and just goes bananas.
If somebody touches my instrument.
But if somebody, only if somebody touches her instrument, then she's about to kill you.
I can see you coming down to the ring with a flute. Just like playing a theme song, or even like a clarinet, like just like. As soon as you put and plus you can use that as a weapon too. You can smack somebody with it. There you go. It's metal. It'll hurt.
Yeah.
Then again, pretty much you can do that with like a trumpet or like a. So, what did you play in band?
I played saxophone.
Okay.
I played alto saxophone.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I mean, I tried once. And too many damn keys. You thought the French horn was hard. Plus, then you got all the reeds and all the I was not able to do that. I thought Chini would have been like a drummer or like a.
Well, I in middle school and high school, I was in a band with my friends, and I was the singer actually.
Yeah.
And so that was my thing. But I also I played the bass a little bit, and I played like a drum set a little bit, but I never played like high school band drum or anything like that. You know what I mean?
You could totally do like a 3MB kind of situation, just to get somebody else, get Joey Angelo.
I was about to say Joey Angelo.
There you go. Do a live performance, just bring a whole set there, put it on the stage.
Making a guitar out of chicken parm.
And then you could have KBA write a song about it. Just like, so this whole thing with him, like, that's new to me. Last time I saw him, he had the Undertaker gimmick.
Yeah, that was just something that was like, I mean, you know how it is. Some people kind of get stuck with something in the beginning, and then they kind of evolve from there. But he is a character, really, like in on his own. Like Kid Badass himself is just a character. So we're kind of letting him have more creative freedom and letting him be himself there, and he's really shining. I mean, you could see it on the show. His wrestling is not great, but it's improving. And you could tell each time that it's improving just a little bit, and it's good. And on top of that, he's got his character down to a T. Even if the wrestling isn't that good, he's entertaining, and you still want to watch him.
So this, would you guys you being in theater, and this is going to be an interesting question then. Thoughts on the cinematic matches WWE's been in the company been doing? Because that kind of goes into a theater kind of thing.
Oh.
That kind of like the Boneyard match.
I like them. I like the Boneyard match. I like the Boneyard match a lot.
What about like all the others?
Like Edge and Orton and the one with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. I liked it.
That one was good.
I liked all of them, honestly. And this isn't like, this might be like WWE kind of being like doing it for the first time, but like it's not the first time that it's been done. And like I've always been a fan of that kind of stuff, like with the Final Deletion, with the Hardys,
yep,
and like all that kind of stuff. It's just, I think it's great because there's like the big part about wrestling is that it is entertainment, and if you could put that and tell that story in that type of cinematic way, then that's great. It kind of reminds me also, I'm not sure if you watched Lucha Underground.
No, never really got into the Underground.
If you look back and watch Lucha Underground, you'll see that their like backstage segments were more like it was like a scene from a soap opera. Yeah. Like it wasn't an actual backstage segment where they had like some microphone up to the guy and they're asking questions. Like it was like like all of a sudden like you're in I forget his name right now. Whatever the guy who owned Lucha Underground's name was, that like you're in his office and he's like filling out paperwork. All of a sudden, somebody busts in and he's like, "Oh, what the hell is going on with this guy?" And blah blah blah. And it's like they're arguing and stuff, and like he like puts him up against the wall, and I'm about to go out there and kill him, and then they go right into the match, and it's like it's really cool, like, and it's like basically like the match is not cinematic. The match is regular match, but like the backstage segments are cinematic. And it's cool that WWE is combining now, like the actual like the I don't know how to put it, like the match quality of putting on like an actual good match and being able to like cut and paste and put it together how it could actually be perfect,
And I saw that Grimm got some pyro there for the entrances.
Yeah.
I saw the tweet they put.
That's what he's spending his extra budget on after firing me.
Yeah, right. I said maybe an Inferno match down the line.
Hey, I'm not employed there, so I don't care.
Well, I mean, when you come back, if you come back, when you come back.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's actually been talked about before, so it's not out of the question.
Really, an Inferno match?
Yeah, it's been talked about before, and I won't go into specifics because and it's not anything. I'll tell you this much: it's not anything that's been discussed recently, but it has been discussed before, and it's definitely not out of the question.
I was just trying to figure out who would be crazy enough to want to do it.
I know some people.
Fran, do you know when your GTS Championship match is going to be against Philly?
At Extreme Tools, I don't know which day. What do you?
It should be coming up pretty soon. I mean,
Yeah.
Next couple days, I'd say just keep watching the episodes, and obviously there's going to be other cool matches on there too. So keep watching through, and
please.
you'll see her on one of the next coming ones. I'm sure. I think we're supposed to be there coming soon or something, right? Next couple days.
Yeah.
I forget. I got to text Grim, or she got to text Grim. I don't have to text Grim about anything anymore.
Someone said, cut a promo on Philly Mike, Fran. He went after you the other day. Tell us how you are going to kick his ass.
He thinks I'm trying to be cute, but I got something to prove, and somebody's got to let him know that he's got bad news coming. That's all I really got to say about that.
Is this you just actually just watching that back? I saw the triple threat out of nowhere, kind of where he won the title.
Where he stole the title.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be just you against.
Where he decided to be a baby and pull out the rematch clause and say, "I'm in this match," and that was it, apparently.
Which, I mean, that's the thing. Like, where do all you guys get that from? Like, you guys just seem to always find the rematch clause just like lying around. Like, is there more than one pair? Like.
I don't even know, honestly, at this point. I've forgotten about it so many times that I probably have a couple rematch clauses that I could cash in if I really wanted to.
Like, what happens if more than one person does it at the same time? Like, what?
Yeah, true. That's very true. I don't know. We've never been put in that situation before.
And now, so, what makes you guys a little unique from other shows is you do have the intergender matches, like your match coming up. And how has that been, like, being able to go out there and hang with the guys?
I have a lot of fun with it because they always make me feel welcome and comfortable with anything that they ask me to do or anything I feel comfortable doing. They make it feel safe.
Yeah. There's not anybody... Who would you not want to get in the ring with? Like, that you would be... like, afraid of. Not per se because they're not safe, but... just like it could be like the size, like maybe giant leather or somebody like that.
Yeah. I don't know who wants to get in the ring with giant leather. That's terrifying.
I would.
Why?
Because so I would go up against him using this. I got a little bit of a persona of my own. And I have a baseball bat, so there you go. But I guess he's not just giant leather anymore, isn't he? Like, as Pete was saying, like drunken leather or something.
Well, that's a different guy. Giant leather, drunken leather are two different guys. Drunken leather, I'd get in the ring with because he'd probably just fall over. But giant leather, I don't think I'd ever want to get in the ring with because he'd probably kill me.
Then Sprinkles the Clown. Sprinkles the Clown I probably wouldn't want to do.
Sprinkles the Clown would squash you off that top rope splash he does. I never want to experience that. Oh my god! And honestly, my first match ever that I had on GTS was against Grim, and he gave me a splash off the top rope through a table, and I'm telling you, the next day I was feeling that, man. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to wrestle again. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm in so much pain right now.
And again, I give all of you guys a lot of credit for getting in the ring and taking bumps all the time, and just being able to get into a WrestleMania 3 ring at Access at WrestleMania 35. The ropes hurt. They're not fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they look like they're springing you off, but they're really not. I mean, it's kind of just all you, and you're just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's after you get past the painful feeling of it, it feels good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like you get used to it and it stops hurting, I'm presuming, after a while. But me and Tommy, I talked to Tommy Salami a couple days back too, and we were talking about like him doing his move off the top rope, the Tommy Ton, and like how he like. I asked him how nervous he gets when he gets up there, like, and how I don't understand not actually feeling the ropes and stuff, like how like the Undertaker walks across them and like just having that balance when you're up there just seems incredible. Like I've seen you go up to the top a couple times, yeah.
I don't spend a lot of time on the top rope, but when I do, I try to make it mean something. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do it, it's because I want to try to put somebody away. And it's like a lot of people will use that as like a quick offensive maneuver now. And that, like, if you miss that, then it's a lot more costly to miss a top rope move than it is to, I don't know, have somebody slip out of a neck breaker or something like that. You know, it's just, I don't know. That's how I think. I try not to go up there too much, but you'll see also if you watch me go up to the top rope when I do, I don't look very comfortable up there. There's not one time I've ever went up to the top rope and looked like, yeah, I got this. Like, no. I go up there if it's like, all right, I need to hit this elbow drop right now, or I need to hit this crossbody or drop kick. I like to hit a drop kick off the second rope because the second rope is my friend. And yeah, so that's what I do. But I mean, she's jumped off the top rope a few times with some crossbodies and Hurricane Ranas and everything.
Now I told Tommy this that we should get him to do it once. I can see you doing it too. Well, I don't know how you would feel about doing it. I want to see someone do a shooting star press off the top.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, maybe talk to Ace Hitman Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, you know what? You know who I think could actually do that for real is Joe Dice.
Joe Dice. Yeah.
Joe Dice is a lot more athletic than people give him credit for, and he is actually a phenomenal wrestler. So honestly, for real, if you get Joe Dice on here, tell him to do the shooting star press because I want to see it too. Because he keeps telling me that he can do it, but I've never seen it. So
what about Jimmy?
Jimmy, he should be fired, not me.
Yeah.
He
had me cracking up laughing at that whole thing. He was telling me stories about him and Robbie E. when he was there.
Robbie, cool guy. I like Robbie. Yeah, that's good for him. He's on NXT right now.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of a shock. Like I didn't think that they would ever get him to go on there and leave TNA. But so like back then, I mean, you had like Gabby Gilbert watching or wrestling. I don't think she's still not there, is she?
We haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
And you had like I mean, what would you say is your favorite move to hit? Let's go with that. Obviously, your finishing moves, but
Well, I mean, yeah, I do like to hit my finishing move, but I like to hit a good, nice pile driver. Just hitting a solid pile driver always feels good.
yeah. What about you, Fran?
Getting the height I need for the X Factor, that's it.
What about the Hurricane?
Dragging around is fun. That's just fun to do.
How was that like wrestling in that suit back when you did have the bunny suit?
It got really hot.
Yeah, did it make it like harder to do in a costume
It
kind of
made
like
it harder for some people to catch me.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So that made it a little scary.
that? Because I remember like Chini's like, no, you can't have this. Then you're like, oh no, I like it. Do you
I liked it at first because it was cute.
do you still have it?
I learned my lesson.
Do you still have it?
I'm sure it's somewhere.
You never know. Never say never, right? Unrelated question: have they ever watched Ghost Adventures before?
Ghost Adventures? I think so. Yeah. Is that the one where they always send in that bald guy and he never wants to go?
I think that's Ghost Hunters.
I don't know. That's that. I like that one. I like the one where they're like where that dude like he like sounds like he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't, and then he's always like, "You go first," and he's like, "No, don't say no."
Yeah, no, I love all that kind of stuff. I'm a big horror guy. I don't know about you guys, but I love horror stuff.
Definitely, I love horror.
Like I said in the last interview with Pete, because turns out Pete does not like horror stuff and he does not like clowns. But I work at a haunted house every year, up here in Berkshire County where I am. And yeah, that's where that mask is from. I ended up buying it last year. Was able to wear it. I chase people about a football field's length and usually have like a baseball bat. It's really
cool.
It's a lot of fun. Until they want to try squaring up. But again, I have a baseball bat and a dude next to me with a flamethrower, so yeah, go ahead and try. Ghost Adventure, Aaron always gets sent down into the basement.
Aaron, yeah, that's the guy, yup.
Ask Tony Chini if he likes to give the knee drop.
Well, boy, my days on GTS, I love me a good knee drop. You take that knee pad, you slide it on down, boy. You expose that bare knuckle knee right there. You take that knee and you drop it right on the top of the head of your opponent. There ain't a better feeling, boy.
Oh, man. I think that answers your question, huh?
Love me a knee drop.
Chini and Friend, whenever AWE versus GTS happened, did you like GTS or AWE better?
I mean, we were GTS pretty much all the way through on that one. Especially since AWE were trying to take our house.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we were GTS the whole way through, and we ended up winning this house right in the backyard here when the ring was here. And yeah, I remember. I'm not sure if you remember the match where I think it was us versus Bale and his ex Matt Wolf.
Yeah, isn't that... Isn't that where
No,
somebody jumped off of the roof or
He
something?
wasn't a wrestler. He was Bale's ex. He was at the time they were dating.
Yep.
So he was put in the match for the house, obviously, and I had him up and I gave him an airplane spin, and I just kept going and going and going and going and faster and faster and faster and faster, and he was just sick at the end of it, and I couldn't see. I could not see straight. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then Bale starts doing something, and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening right now. But it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we had Kurt Bell in the chat last time, and he was giving all of us like fact checks. That's what we called him, fact check Bell. But okay. So I'm a little disappointed. You might not know about this then. If you weren't watching his videos before, did you go back and watch any of his videos before you joined him, or no, not really?
A little bit.
So let's see. Maybe the chat might know, because so far Bell didn't know, and neither did Pete. Did anybody remember Stan?
No.
Stan, and no, he's not the mailman. That was Jamie. That's what everybody kept saying. It's Jamie. No, Stan was the.
I remember Jamie the mailman.
Yeah. Stan was the giant guy who was the obsessed fan, and who like towered over him and ending up turning on him. It was during the Apple Boss thing.
That's not Mr. Pink, is it?
I'm not sure. Very well could be. I don't remember. I don't remember who that ended up actually being, to be honest.
Was it the same guy? Was the hip hop zombie?
The tall guy? Really tall guy?
Yeah.
Like brownish hair?
Yeah. Like long brown hair, big beard.
Big beard. Yep.
Yeah. So I know who you're talking about. I just didn't know. I didn't know that he was referred to as that because they also referred to him as Mr. Pink and the hip hop zombie.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, it must have been like way before, way before that.
Yeah, he was exposed as the hip hop zombie. He like unzipped himself and exposed himself, and then he was Mr. Pink. I remember that. I was there for that one.
Tony and Fran are the goats.
Thank you.
So is there any dream opponent you haven't faced in GTS that you would like to? Mainly Fran, because we all know what happened to Tony.
Sorry.
Answer the question.
I don't really know. I would actually like to see if Joe Dice wants to come back for the GTS title. I'd give him a shot.
You have to win it first.
Is that a question?
No. Never underestimate Fran. I've learned that years ago.
The
Fran, yes.
By the way, just a quick plug. If you go on over to ProWrestlingTees.com and you look up the Delivery Boy Tony Chini or Francesca Chini, you can find some great merch. If you go on to Francesca Chini's website there, you could actually find the Fran t-shirt. So go ahead, own your own The Fran t-shirt today. ProWrestlingTees.com, Francesca Chini.
And today only they will sign it and send no signing. Actually, have you ever faced what is her name? I can't believe I'm Duhop's girlfriend. Tiffany, there we go, that's the one.
Before I was fired, we actually had a mixed tag team match.
Yeah.
And we got the best of them on that one, so.
Because we were talking on, I think it was, again, with Pete, about who could probably do the Abaddon entrance. If you know who Abaddon is, that zombie woman from AEW now.
Yeah, I saw her. Yeah, no, that's, I don't know about that. Maybe Jimmy.
Well, we were talking like either you or Tiffany doing it. Having like, but you would have to crawl to the ring the whole time.
Definitely Jimmy.
I wouldn't want to see that. And like we were also talking about like who would be able to do like the spider crawl like Bray Wyatt used to do. Who would be the most able to do that?
I just want to see Grimm try to do it.
Would he be able to even push himself up?
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would probably want to see that, to be fair.
I would pay for that on Patreon.
It'd be like a dead fish flopping around.
I don't even think he'd move that much.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, now with his leg, it might be kind of hard to do, but,
Yeah. Yeah. It's devastating injury.
well, I mean, hey, you know, I dislocated my kneecap once, if that's where he was trying to go for, but it's not fun, but I certainly wasn't moving around as much as he was, or is. I certainly wasn't in a wheelchair having a match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chini, do you have a PlayStation or Xbox?
We share an Xbox.
You're one of those people.
Yeah. I had a PS4, and then when we moved in together, we just decided to ditch the PS4 and just keep the Xbox. We didn't need both.
Are you gonna get the PS5?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to lie. At this point, it's just whichever one's cheaper between the Xbox and the PS5.
Oh, yeah, price range. They're gonna be ridiculous right now.
I know. That's why I'm saying it's just whichever one I could actually afford. You know, that's because it's already crazy enough. You know, for a new system that they're making a big deal out of these. So I'm sure it's just going to be outrageous.
Tell them that the new episode of Ghost Adventure is them opening the die box, the one with the demon spirit inside.
Oh, a Diddy box?
Interesting.
Ah!
Maybe that's what's going on in 2020. That's what we need more.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that was filmed right when this started happening.
Somebody opened the wrong box.
Do you guys watch UFC?
Not really.
No.
No.
I know one of our friends in the chat is a big fan of Yadong on UFC.
Your dong?
Sonya. No, not my dong. Yadong.
My dong?
No! No! The name of the person!
You saying that the person is a big fan of my dong?
No!
Patreon, right?
Big John?
Oh my god. Exclusive.
Your dong?
No!
Sonya Dong.
Sonya Dong?
Yeah.
What?
Let me know if I butchered your name, Liam.
Sonya Dong?
It's a woman too, I believe.
Oh, man. You know, I realized something. You know, Sonya Deville on WWE. Justice D. DeVille, Sonya Deville, Justice D. DeVille's daughter, Sonya Deville's sister?
Could be. Could be. Do you have an MMA background that we don't know about?
I do.
She actually does.
I do.
She has a black belt in MMA.
Well then. But I felt like we would have saw you in WWE a long time ago then. It's all who you know, right?
Yeah, I don't think Sonya talks to us very much.
No.
Well then, what's your thoughts on Mandy?
Yes.
Mandy Rose.
What about Mandy Rose?
What's your thoughts on Mandy Rose then?
I think that she's improving a lot as a wrestler. Honestly, I think that like she's one of those girls that came in and she was pretty much just like all face at first and just just here, look at me. But then you actually saw her progress more and more as a wrestler. Her character, though, like backstage segments and stuff, not very interesting in my opinion. But she is getting better in the ring, though.
Now, going back into names you had when wrestling, I mean, you had the pizza boy, right? The delivery boy. But we know Fran had a couple of interesting names back in the day. I don't know if they were officially, but like you had like the cam girl one was one to you mainly. The slaps from that I remember watching.
Cam girl stuff. It was real. It didn't happen. There was no proof. Nobody showed me.
Philip Michael Swanson.
He is a cam girl. If you go look him up.
Or you had the side chick Chance. That was you, right? I believe a long time ago.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. How's that couch feeling? Rank the top 3 wrestling shows on TV right now. Go.
NWA.
Technically.
I like NWA.
That's tough because NWA is like my favorite, but NWA, I'm gonna actually go with AEW and then WWE because, which is actually rare for me because I'm not a big fan of a lot of the wrestling on AEW, but I feel like the story as of late, like the stories that they've been building and also the younger stars that they've been trying to build, I like it. It's cool. It's new. It's fresh. So, but just personally, I'm gonna go with NWA first.
So you're familiar with their champion then, right?
Nick Aldis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Carneyland?
I saw the first one. I haven't seen anything since though.
Were you a fan? What was your thoughts on Carneyland?
Carneyland was funny. I liked it. It was really cool. It was unique. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but a little bit of what I expected. And I don't know. It was cool. I liked it. And I also ended up watching the Eli Drake interview that happened. Yeah. The Eli Drake interview that they did, I think the following week. And he did an interview with Brian Pillman Jr. And he was just doing like a podcast. And that was cool. I like Eli Drake. He's one of my favorites right now.
So do you remember Ziggy Dice?
Yeah.
Entice Ziggy Dice?
Yeah.
And the woman that was on Entice Ziggy Dice? Her name was Fiona with the blue hair.
Okay, I don't know about Fiona.
Yeah, she was on the first episode. It was Entice Ziggy Dice. And yeah, the person who he talked to, her name was Fiona with the blue hair. I actually did an interview with her that next week. So
that's awesome.
if you go into the channel, we were talking because she used to work at Disney years ago. So we were talking about that, and since I was on their Patreon for Carneyland, they were doing like one-on-one interviews with some of the wrestlers there. It was supposed to be one-on-one, but it ended up being like 5 in them. And so they were talking. It was Nick Aldis, and he was asking, okay, what's your name? Where are you from? Whatever. And then he got to me, and he's like, aren't you the same Coaster Maniacs that's in the Wrestling Days channels? And like he goes into their watch-alongs and when they used to do Tuesdays for NWA, and so the NWA champion has heard of my name, which is crazy.
That's pretty awesome, dude. That's awesome. That means you're doing something right.
Yeah. And I actually saw so with their Patreon, they sent out you could have been the town council member with their Patreons, and they actually sent out all of these to their Patreon members.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's a little like official. I mean, it's printed on official paper. But,
that's cool.
Yeah. Sadly, though, I mean, everything's coming to a halt with everything going on in the wrestling world, but hopefully NWA picks itself up.
Yeah, I really hope so because I've been enjoying it a lot. And, it's just I really love old school wrestling and like that kind of style. So I like how they're mixing that style with the newer style and making it. Um, it's still a tribute to what it used to be, but it's evolved, and I liked it. You know?
But sadly, it doesn't seem like, with everything that's happened in the company, I don't know if you kept up to date with them, but like they halted all shows and everything, like Carneyland and all that. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, you have Thunder Rosa creating her own all-women's promotion coming up, and I mean,
Yeah, that should be pretty loaded. I mean, it looks like she knows some pretty cool people, so hopefully there's some pretty good.
I asked her on Twitter also in a message. I said, "So, are you gonna have Camille in your promotion?" And all she did was just give me the eyes emoji. Because I mean, that could be interesting if fireworks there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like Camille. She's cool.
Yeah.
I like what they did with her. How they didn't have her speak for a whole year and all that. It was cool.
So, who are you guys' favorite wrestlers? Like, who was it that got you guys into wrestling?
Eddie Guerrero was always my top favorite when I was a kid.
Makes sense.
My parents went to a lot of ECW shows, and they told me that my favorite was Sabu, and after watching him, my favorite is Sabu.
Yeah, no, ECW's been, watching back them now, they did some really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Who are you interviewing next? Funny enough, I'm interviewing KBA next on Tuesday.
Good. I actually, I tried to convince him to hit you up.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I told him. I said, like I was telling you before, he's such a good character. He needs to get his story out there. He needs to get his stuff out there.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if he actually gets booked in that rap battle.
I hope it's not going to be a good interview if he doesn't do a live performance.
That, and then Friday is Kurt Bale, next Friday. And then after that, we'll see. I know we're gonna get Doo-Hop on eventually, and a couple other people.
Yeah.
So, with that, guys, do you have any questions? I always leave it up. Do you guys have any questions for me? Because I don't. I'm like Aleister Black. I'm always waiting for somebody to ask me a question.
I mean, like, do you have like a theory? Because you said that you've been watching GTS ever since the very beginning.
Pretty much.
Like, who is like one person? Like, they could be there now. They don't have to be there anymore. Like, one person that you've always like looked at, no matter what they've done in their career, and you're like, you've always wanted to follow them. Like you're like this person captivates me.
So, I'm not gonna go with the obvious answer. Be like, oh, that's Grim, yeah. But honestly enough, I was always a fan of Doo-Hop's.
Mm-hmm.
Like the energy he would bring, and like I don't know, I was always attracted to Doo-Hop and the way his style in the ring. That and Landscaper.
They both have a lot of energy, so I could definitely see why. And like that, the reason I ask is because I always like to ask those kind of questions because I want to see what people say and like why they attach to those people, because obviously I want to be able to make attachments with people as well. So it's like it's good to know information like what attaches you to somebody. You know, is it their energy? Is it their style in the ring? Is it the way they present themselves outside of the ring? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always somebody that you see on pretty much every show, and you have to have that attachment to that one person. You know, like and most people have like, you know, like John Cena or Graham or whatever that basic answer, but there's always that other person. Like, they force that into you. They force the Grimm into you. They force the John Cena into you. But there's always that other side piece where you're like, I want to know what he's doing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it wasn't gonna be you from the start because, like I said, I couldn't stand you. But, but yeah, no, just with Lance, I mean, you could tell that he was a generally nice guy, and I mean, he followed me a long time ago too, so it was pretty cool. A little biased maybe, but could I change it to the red van maybe? I mean, technically that van won a title.
Which one? What?
Red Van Dam.
Oh yeah, Red Van Dam. Jeez, that thing. That was crazy.
Technically, it won a title.
Yeah, it did. And then Soda Pop Smith had Match of the Year with it.
Oh yeah, the swanton on the top of it.
That was actually really cool.
That probably hurt like a...
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you have an interview with him scheduled anytime soon, but he'll tell you it definitely didn't feel soft.
we're talking. Speaking of soft, I'm actually in talks and trying to get Enzo and Big Cass on the show as well.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I'm waiting for their manager to, because their manager is like on Twitter for a week and then off for a week, it seems. But I think, everybody seems to be coming from that New York City area. Like, that's where you guys are from, right?
Not New York City, but yeah, like in that like East Coast area, yeah.
Yeah. My next question would be, so are they going... Is there going to be a GTS women's title ever? I know it was talked about kind of in the past, but...
I don't think so.
I don't think so because Grimm is like
he doesn't
really,
like to divide.
Yeah, he's really like avid on like he doesn't want to divide the wrestlers. Like
everybody gets the same opportunity as the next person.
Yeah, so like so I don't think that he has any like the intergender title is probably the closest thing you'll see to a woman's title, and that's obviously just an intergender title for anybody to have. So that's and that's just like any other title there in GTS. So pretty much all the titles there are intergender titles, so I don't really understand why we have an intergender championship right now, but I guess it didn't sprout from the show originally, so it makes sense.
Yeah, because then Ellsworth had it, right?
Yeah, Ellsworth created the title.
Yeah. Fan for GTS champion, says Junior Durant. So, I asked Jake this, but obviously, I mean... Don't know if I can believe anything that Jake says now, but so shots fired. I gotta watch it though because he wants to be back on the show. Kind of, go figure, huh? So he said that you guys are able to take the titles home with you and stuff, or...
Yep.
Because I remember RWA. You remember RWA?
Yeah, I actually. When I debuted, RWA took me in shortly after that, and then they died down like shortly after that too.
Oh yeah, I remember the whole trash can lid with the blue RWA tape on it that you used to hold.
Yeah. That was how I won my first Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I couldn't stand RWA. If you go back to their videos, the dislike to like is ridiculous on all their videos. Rightfully so, but yeah, no, they back in that time, like I guess you guys had to lock up the titles in the actual warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that at first, and then like I guess it was because like at the time there were people that just like before I came in, I didn't really like know of any of these people or whatever, but like I guess there were some people who would like take the titles and then not come around for a long time and like on purpose, and so he just didn't want that happening anymore. But then once we kind of filtered those people out, and like I said, that was before my time, so I couldn't really tell you who that was. But I guess once those people were filtered out, he was like, you guys could bring your titles back because that's what we do. We bring if she wins a title, she brings it home, and then she brings it back there once she defends it.
So if she does, like, are you gonna like just parade around the house with it? Like, oh yeah, this is mine now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear it all the time.
No, I mean, is he gonna steal it from you? And be like, oh yeah, this is mine.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No, no.
Oh yeah.
That fits around me all the time.
I will get it.
You have to just have a match, like 24/7 rules, right?
If I can get to put 24/7 rules on it, then I'll definitely be sleeping on the couch.
Speaking of the 24/7, the hardcore title, it seems to be a good talking point for how easy it is and how hard it is to keep, and how easy it is to win, but how hard it is to keep.
I feel like everybody's had that title like a million times,
So many times.
and I've only had it I think twice.
What?
You just gotta be quicker than that, I guess.
Well, the thing is like, I don't know. Usually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care. It's like, I mean, yeah, I care about it because it's a title, and it's always good to have a title. But in the long haul, I've had it now, and it's already in the record book. So it's time to move on to something else that I didn't have. You know,
The loser belt. I know you've
I've
had it.
that. I've had that.
So if the loser belt was on one of you guys, and because it's 24/7 for that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, has that happened before? Or one of you, I'm sure one of you guys had it. Like, has there been stuff like at the house that no one's ever really seen, like trying to roll up? Because you have to have a ref there, right?
We don't fight, but we wrestle a lot. We don't fight, but we wrestle a lot. A lot of suplexes, Goldberg spears,
I don't know.
jackhammers, RKOs, crossbodies, roll-ups, power slams, delivery drivers.
You have to be on your toes.
Yeah, if you live here at this house, you got to be on your toes at all times.
Yeah, you just walk in, turn around, oh, spear! Like, what?
Yeah, literally.
So what is your favorite move to hit then? Oh, we already asked that. Oh, yeah. You would say a good neck breaker, right?
A good pile driver.
A fire driver, yeah. What about the worst one then? Like, what is like the? Is there a move you will like not take? Like you would refuse to take it?
I'm not looking to take a Canadian destroyer anytime soon. That looks like it hurts.
Well, I mean, so does the package pile driver, but
Yeah, and I actually sprained my ankle taking a package pile driver off a ladder for the TLC match one time. But
of all things, you sprained your ankle or your what?
because me and Pete were on the bridging ladders. There was 2 ladders in the ladder bridge, and he did the pile driver on the ladder, and then the ladders fell, and they caught my leg and twisted it.
Gosh, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no, that wasn't fun, but it was. I'd still rather take a package pile driver than a Canadian destroyer.
When Jay did the Panama Sunrise, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, Panama Sunrise Canadian destroyer. You know, tomato, but it's. I don't want to take it no matter what you call it.
What about you, Fran?
Honestly, after that one choke slam from Slenderman, I don't want to take a choke slam ever again. That was rough.
That would probably, I said it before, that would probably be my finishing move too. Like, I would totally choose the choke slam. It seems like it's the easiest one to do.
I kept the photos from that one because I just couldn't believe how high I went up.
I would think a choke slam would be easy to take, no?
Oh, that one I went down a little too hard. I hit the back of my head, and it hurt for
Just think
a
about
couple days.
just think about voluntarily, like basically going, I'd say, 4 feet above where you stand, or like 5 feet above where you stand, and then just jumping and landing straight on your back, and that's how a choke slam feels.
But that's alright, it's like a trampoline, you'll bounce back up.
Oh,
I wish.
Yeah.
my head bounced back up, but the rest not.
What about an F5 from Vlad?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I was gonna say an F5 is fine, but you say from Vlad.
Okay.
I don't know about that one.
Or German suplex from Vlad.
No, I'm actually not gonna lie. I've never personally had any issues wrestling with Vlad, and we've had some good matches and we've had some good moments. And I remember when my GTS title was on the line at the Regal Rumble, and he belly to belly suplexed me over the top rope onto everybody. And we've had some good moments, so I don't mind taking a suplex or an F5 for Vlad here and there.
I just remember when he like plucked me out of the ring, put me over the top rope, and just kind of pushed me.
And do you guys get nervous like when everyone's wrestling, like if like watching? Like I could only imagine what you felt like when Tony lost and got fired. Like I mean, the expression on your face said it all, but
That was awful because I didn't even realize that that was a stipulation of the match until Jay Evans, who was standing next to me, told me. Why didn't I know this? Why did this just happen out of nowhere? It just happened out of nowhere.
Well, you know, things happen out of nowhere sometimes, and you just gotta roll the punches, you know. But you know, I used to get nervous at first seeing her wrestle, and I just, you know, I wanted to make sure that one, she wasn't gonna get hurt, but two, people were also treating her with respect in the ring, and I don't worry as much now because I know that she can handle herself, and I'm there, and most of the people that she worked with, I know, and I know that they wouldn't do that. So, you know, I've definitely gotten better with it, but still, you know, there's always a part of me when I watch her that makes me, you know, it makes me, you know, just want to make sure that she's okay, and I'm sure she feels the same. But
I remember that too because I don't remember what it was for, but I remember. You wanted to join, I think it was a Rumble of something, or a Battle Royal or something, and Tony was saying, no, you're not. Do you remember that?
Trying to keep me from the Battle Royal in Philly, I think.
that might have been the one that I eliminated you from.
That was
It was, because you, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, like you said earlier, it's everyone for themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no hard feelings.
It's okay, you can always buy a replica title, right?
Yep.
And so, what would,
If you don't mind, my friend, we're gonna have to wrap it up pretty soon, just because there's my neighbors are blowing off fireworks and my dog is freaking out here. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, it is almost close to the 4th, isn't it?
yeah, I apologize, man.
Oh, no worries at all.
But yeah, do you have any last questions for us before we head off?
Yeah, what's next? Like, do you have anything to say to Grim?
To Grim?
Yeah. Or Mike Swanson.
Well,
Get ready.
for me to say to Grim, I'll be back. You know, whether it's one way or another, you'll see me, and you won't be able to get rid of me, and I'll be back. You'll see me. And as far as she goes, and Philly Mike Swanson.
Oh yeah, get ready. You're gonna have a new GTS champion.
Well said. Yeah, I remember you said when you walked off, you said that your #1 star is leaving now.
Yep, and I meant it. You'll see, because you know what? While I'm not there, I'm still making a buzz, and I'm still making a name for myself out anywhere else I go, and that's not going to stop me. Because then when I come back to GTS, I'm just going to have even more credit to my name, even more experience, and even more knowledge. So it's just a matter of time before I come back and I prove that I am the top guy that GTS has seen. Even though Kurt Bale likes to say he is.
Oh, I mean, you also had Best in GTS. A couple other people say that too, but
Yeah, well, you know, me and Kurt Bale have had some wars, so He knows what's up.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, that was.
Here we go. Let's plug the social medias too.
Yeah. Where can they find you guys?
On Twitter at Francesca Chini, on Instagram at ArtsKid if you like. I also have Pro Wrestling Tees. What else we have?
Facebook.
Francesca Chini. Francesca Chini. I think that's all I have.
Cameos.
Is that all? I'm pretty sure.
I got. Oh, you also have Cameo.
I also have Cameo.
For I believe $5, right?
$5.
For only $5, you can get a personal message from either me or Francesca. And sometimes, if you request it, sometimes we'll both be in there for you. And we'll give you the best shout out you want, whether it's for your channel, whether it's for your podcast, whether it's for your mom, whether it's for your dad, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, whatever you got, just let us know and we'll do it. So that's on Cameo. If you want to find me on Twitter at TonyChini96. If you want to find me on Facebook, facebook.com/TonyChiniStubYourToe. We also have Instagram at TonyChini. And, of course, you can find me as well on Pro Wrestling Tees, like I said before. I just came out with 2 brand new shirt designs, Chini Mania, Running Wild. So definitely go check those out. And obviously check her out on GTS because she's going to be kicking Philly Mike Swanson's ass soon and winning that GTS title. And then once she does that, you're going to be seeing the best there is, the best there was, and the best ever delivered pizza back on GTS.
And I will, I think we all can't wait for that, too. With that, do you guys have any YouTube channels you want to throw out there?
Yep, yeah, we I mean, you don't really have, we pretty much just kind of use the Tony Chini YouTube channel on YouTube. Just look up Tony Chini and find my official channel, and we kind of both put our content out there. You can find both of our indie matches on there. Pretty much, I think all of them are on there. And then on top of that, we also have some other content like fan mail unboxings. If any fans are out there want to send us fan mail, P.O. Box 1554, Toms River, New Jersey, 08754. We always do fan mail unboxings. We'll shout you out, all that good stuff. We've done pizza making videos, all that kind of stuff. So definitely go check it out.
I'll have to check that out. I love pizza. Alright, guys. Yeah, no, and you can always find me on Twitter as well. Christopher Maniacs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, good luck, Fran, on your match. Like, you need it. Obviously, you don't. And
I appreciate it.
and yeah, watch out, Mike. I'll talk to you soon, too. Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. And we will see you next time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.